Okay, so this is a video about the Andaman tribes. And yeah, these people are from a Negrito origin, and there are like 5 tribes, and only 4 of them are now existing because one has already gone extinct. I don't know much about the Nicobarese people, like from the Nicobar Islands. I don't know much about them, but I pretty much know a lot about the history and facts about the Andaman people. So let's start from south to north. Okay, so let's start with the one all the way to the bottom, Little Andaman. So this is the home. So this is the home of the Onge tribe, and the Onge tribe are, uh, they, yeah, I'm pretty much talking about. I think they're all Negrito. Yeah. So the Onge tribe are a group of, yeah, they're hunter gatherers, like all of them, like most of them, and the Onges live in, since there's only like 100 left of them, they built 2 reserves, like one right here on the north and down to the south, like this area right here. And so because of the Onge have decreased a lot, they used to be all over Little Andaman, but a lot of them have decreased. So because there's only 100 of them left, so they built 2 reserves for them. And I'll be showing you the images after I give the facts. Next is the probably the most famous one, the Sentinelese tribe from North Central Island. You see the tribe guy? Yeah, they're considered to be the most isolated tribe, and out of all of them on this one, this is the only dangerous one. And even though they're all scary, not undoubtedly. So, but out of all the tribes, the Sentinelese is the only one that has been still the same. And I'm going to talk to you about the history. So this is a big one right here. So the Sentinelese were found in like the 1800s. And there's this guy, there's this guy named Maurice Vidal Portman, and he went on the island and he kidnapped 2 elderly and like 4 children, and that's 6 in total. And they were taken to Port Blair, which is the capital of Andaman, and the elderly have died while the children were right away taken back to the island, and Maurice Vidal Portman left after that. And that is the theory why the Sentinelese are hostile towards everyone. And one of the strangest and most interesting fact about this is that the Onge right here and the Sentinelese, when people brought the Onge from the island and then they were introduced to the Sentinelese, they were not able to communicate, and because their languages were different and all that, and they didn't even met each other, and they didn't even have, I mean they look very similar and all that, but they're both Negrito, but and yeah, they had different personalities and all that. So yeah. So, and after that, during the 19th century, people tried to get on the island, and but most of them were hostile attacks by the Sentinelese trying to guard the island. But then there were some peaceful encounters in the late 19th century. There's this guy, I forgot wait, what's his name again? Oh my gosh, what's his name? And he brought the coconuts and gave them to the Sentinelese, and they were like, Sentinelese were like, and there's a video of that where like there was like guys trying to give coconuts, so throwing coconuts at them. And oh yeah, his name was Chignalev Pandit. Yeah, Pandit. He was not. I don't think. I'm not sure. I don't know much. But there's footage of the Sentinelese, real footage of the Sentinelese getting coconuts, and they're all happy and giving them the coconuts and putting them in bags. And then after that, when they left, the Sentinelese go back to the forest. Uh, But then the the 2000s, then the 21st century came by, and then a huge tsunami came by, and a huge tragedy, a tsunami, and it hit North Sentinel Island, but thankfully the Sentinelese had survived when helicopters looked to check on them. But then another bad thing happened. So, two drunk people were on a boat illegally fishing mud crabs, and it is illegal to get to the island like 3 miles of it. And the two people were were hauled onto the shore. The two people, the drunk, they fell asleep, and then they were killed by them. But then 2018, the most recent and victim and one of the most popular one is John Allen Chow himself. He tried to bring Christianity to the people, but he was killed and never came back. Now let's move on to the this is Rutland Island right here. It's not named, of course. This is Rutland Island, and it is home to the Jangil tribe. And they're not much is barely anything is known about them except that yeah, the Sentinelese, their language, we don't know about their language, and the Jangil are the same thing. We can't like when British settlers came here, it was like who what are they saying? Like the Sentinelese, we don't know what they were saying. But the Onge, I think we know what they said, and there is encounters of them in the video. Sentinelese as well, but the Jangil have been extinct. I mean, they were found by the 18. I mean, but then in the 19th century, they were found the 1800s. But then the 20th century, the 1900s, they've gone extinct in the late 1900s, possibly because of disease. And yes, all these tribes we should not visit them because of disease. And that's how the two elderly Sentinelese died, because they were transferred to Port Blair and died of disease. And that's why we shouldn't visit them. And we should all leave them in peace, leave them in our own land. And yeah, that's the history of the Jangil. Not much is known about them. Now let's move up north from the west side of South Andaman all the way up to Middle Andaman, the west side. And that is home to the Jarawa tribe, the Jarawa, yeah. The Jarawa. Yeah, I think I'm saying it right. And it is another famous tribe. And it is by far the most populated one. And we don't know how much Sentinelese there are. But there are 400 Jarawas left. And yes. This has another big history. So the Jarawa, they were encountered. Their first good encounter was in the 70s, but then very quickly they started with tourism on the Jarawa, bad tourism, and then there was like a road from all the way to Port Blair, all the way up to North Andaman, and this goes right through to the Jarawa Reserve, and when people started going on, it was like a human safari, and they were treating them like animals in a safari park. And yes, human zoos did exist way back then, even in the early 20th century in the United States, and which it was a very sad event. And yeah, thankfully, of course, it doesn't exist anymore. But the Jarawa, it still does, and it's still open, and people were trying to stop the human safaris, and the way how they were treating the Jarawa was terrible. They were, first of all, the women, they were forced to dance, and I've seen the videos of that. They were forced to dance for food by the corrupted police people, and also they were thrown, and they also people throw biscuits and bananas to the Jarawa tribe and clothing. and that's how they got closed because of people visiting them, and we should not visit these people. And also, and they were also given diseases like, but on the human safaris they got diseases like measles and all that, but thankfully there was no deaths. But they were really sick, and it's still happening. And also, there's another danger to the Jarawa tribe: poachers. Yes, and they do eat wild pigs, and the poachers kill wild pigs and log down forests. So, yeah, and it's really affecting the Jarawa tribe. And not only that, they're also giving drugs and alcohol and all that stuff to the Jarawa tribe, and it's not good. And they're all becoming very sick. And what else happens? Yeah, there's a lot of bad things going on to the Jarawa. Yeah. And the Jarawa. So the Jarawa is undoubtedly the most mistreated out of all of them. So yeah. And the more we visit these human safaris, the more there's going to be tourism, because when you go to places all around worldwide, the more tourists they visit, the more places they're going to build. So I don't want. And real Andaman is not a dangerous place besides North Sentinel, and it's not dangerous, but I say I do not recommend anyone visiting, because we want to protect the tribes there, and the more we visit, the more it's gonna create buildings, and we don't want that happening to the Jarawa Reserve. So, yeah, I don't recommend people going to Andaman at all. Now the last one is like right here. And there is no tribes like right here. There is none in North Andaman. But then like right here, like somewhere like right here, it's the Great Andamanese. And the Great Andamanese used to be all around the island, like from Port Blair all the way to North Andaman. And since they all had like different languages that they like Akabi, Akabao, like all those languages. And then, but then there's way countless encounters, and they used to be hunter gatherers, but not anymore. And they live in like this. They live like right here somewhere, I think. And there's a huge decline on all of them. Sorry, spit on the computer. Sorry. So there's like a huge decline, and there's this t- tiny island reserved just for them, and they're not hunter gatherers anymore, and people are still helping them, and they are Negrito. So yeah, that's all of the animators. Now I'll show you some images. This is the Great Andamanese. These are the Jarawa. These are the sentinelese. I don't know where's the Onge tribe. I don't know. I think they are the Onge tribe. I don't know, but yeah, that's the Jarawa right there. And yeah, these are the Andaman peoples. So I hope you like, subscribe. Bye.